There comes a moment in many careers when someone senior asks you into the office, closes the door, and says something along the lines of, "You're doing very well in your role. Would like to give you the opportunity to start leading a team." On the surface, it sounds like a recognition, a promotion, proof that your hard work has been noticed. But almost immediately, another question follows in your head. Is management actually right for me? That's what I want to talk about today. Not to convince you one way or the other, but to give you a clear, honest view of what you're really stepping into and what questions are actually worth asking before you say yes. My name is Marcel. I'm a chartered manager and I asked that very same question more than 20 years ago. Since then, I've led international teams and projects, headed departments, and spent a large part of my career learning, often the hard way, what management really is. And now I want to give managers insight I never had access to. Speaking to other managers over the years, I've learned something important. Not everyone benefits from making that switch. Some thrive, some struggle, and some quietly regret it. So let's walk through the doubts I hear most often. Should I even take the offer? This is usually the first question, and it's the right one. Here's a simple test. And it's not about ambition, status, or money. Ask yourself this instead. Do I genuinely enjoy new experiences and constant learning? Not in theory, in practice, because management is changing constantly, relentlessly. I mean, no 2 days look the same. Problems don't repeat neatly, people don't behave predictably, you're almost always dealing with something unfamiliar, uncomfortable, or unresolved. So if your honest answer is no, then let me save you years of frustration. You're probably not ready yet. And that's not a failure. It's self-awareness. Management isn't about mastering a stable skill set. It's about adapting over and over again to new challenges that rarely come with instructions. And there is nothing wrong with choosing a different path. Some people want to become deep specialists. They want to be exceptional at what they do. Think about medicine. Most doctors don't want to run hospitals. They want to be brilliant clinicians. That's not lack of ambition, it's clarity. If that's you, lean into it, grow horizontally, become invaluable through expertise rather than structure. And I'll be honest with you, I've never seen anyone who fundamentally disliked management suddenly say, yes, 10 years later. I'm so glad I forced myself into this. If that's been your experience, I genuinely love to hear because it's rare. Please drop me a comment and I promise I will pick it up with you to learn something new. Now, if your answer is hesitant but curious, something along the lines of, I'm not sure, but I'll give it a go, then good. That's enough at this stage. Please do, but you need to know what you're signing up for. The first few years of management, it can feel like stepping into a boxing ring with multiple opponents, all fighting in different styles and all at once. You're reacting constantly. Information overload is real. Everyone needs something from you now. And you're expected to stay calm while figuring things out in real time. And you'll cope, but it will feel overwhelming. If you stay in the fight, if you learn, reflect, and don't take every hit personally, well, something interesting happens. Patterns start to emerge. You begin to anticipate problems instead of reacting to them. You stop flinching. And when you finally land a clean punch, when a team performs well, a conflict resolves properly, or a decision actually sticks, well, the satisfaction is just hard to describe. Yes, it is daunting. But that sense of progress offsets the discomfort. Adaptability matters more than confidence. And if you stay adaptable, you'll get good faster than you expect. Let's talk about that part that very few talk about, but it's essential to understand for the right frame of mind. Over 80% of managers step into the role without any prior training. And that included me. 8 out of 10 people entered management with no gloves, no rule book, and one vague instruction. You'll be fine. And somehow, against the odds, most of us survive. Many even grow into very capable leaders. But it's messy. If you take this path, expect daily excitement and daily disappointment. Some days you'll feel energized, other days you'll question every decision you've made. That emotional contrast never really disappears. You just get better at handling it. Another doubt sounds something along the lines of, will I actually be good at this? This question actually hides two deeper fears. The first one is, What if I fail and get demoted because I don't know what I'm doing? And the second one is, how do I even manage people? And both fears are valid, and both come from the same place. When you become a manager, you stop doing the job that got you promoted in the first place. Let me explain. When I was offered my first management role, I was a strong individual contributor. I knew the technical side inside out. I understood processes, quality standards, production cycles, all of it. Then suddenly, I was responsible for over 100 people. And the work I used to do, it dropped to less than 10% of my time. The other 90% was a completely new job. There was rota, staffing, resources, conflicts, absences, conversations I'd never had before. My previous experience became a foundation, not the job itself. And like most new managers, I had almost no training for what I was actually expected to do. So when people ask, will I be good at this role? The honest answer is not at the start. And that's okay. Management is a social science. You can learn frameworks, you can learn systems and tools, and they do help, but the real work happens in human interactions. Even years later, after formal training and qualifications, I still rely heavily on emotional awareness, judgment, and on experience. But the good news is, there's an 80% chance your boss started the same way, underprepared and figuring it out as they went along. And that usually creates more understanding than you would expect. One big difference between now and 20 years ago is access to resources and the fact that you're not alone. There are excellent channels, books and voices helping new managers navigate this transition, including this one, but also people like Dr. Grace Lee, Bernd Gerob, and wider podcasts around productivity, leadership and careers. Use them. Reflect on your own behavior. Observe what works and what doesn't. Management improves fastest when learning and self-reflection happen together. Now, another question, somewhere in our minds may be, how do I manage people? This fear never really goes away. It just changes shape. Early on, it's about authority. Later, it's about influence. Eventually, it's about restraint. The beginning will be bumpy. You will make the classic mistakes. Everyone does. If you want a full breakdown of those, I've covered them in another video and I will link it on the screen. What matters is how you respond. If you have even a small amount of humility, mistakes become learning curves instead of reputational disasters. But if you believe that solution is to become an all-knowing, all-judging autocrat, let me be very clear, that's the fastest way to lose your people, your results, and your credibility. Management is a long game. Short-term control always costs you long-term trust, and there are simple truths attached to this. Integrity matters more than being right. Consistency matters more than intensity, and emotional control matters way more than technical brilliance. Okay, let's close this by answering the original question. Is management worth it? I'm obviously biased, but yes, I think it is. Management is demanding, uncomfortable, and often stressful. You have to tolerate pressure, uncertainty, and a fair amount of emotional pain. But it's also deeply rewarding. Helping others grow by growing yourself is one of the few things in my work that actually compounds over time. If you enjoy that process, if you're willing to learn, adapt, and stay honest with yourself, then management can be one of the most meaningful careers you'll ever have. Just make sure you're choosing it for the right reasons. If you found this episode helpful, I have a favor to ask you. Please subscribe and comment how you ended up as a manager. It helps me to reach others and build a community of managers that actually discuss real life challenges. I thought I was alone for more than 15 years after starting my journey. And while doing an MBA, I discovered others who, although in dramatically different industries, they struggled with the same issues I was in mine. You're not alone. I'll see you in the next one.